Here's my relationship with my religion that I grew up with, which is Christianity and Catholicism. As a child, my mother introduced me to Jesus Christ when I was at the age of 7 years old. I was born without a father, so therefore, having someone like that to look up to, pun unintended, really gave me a sense of hope. For Jesus' story was one of someone who would sacrifice anything for the greater good. One of my favorite things that I learned from the man that I call my father, Jesus, was to turn the other cheek. But in my experience, it never meant to let people take advantage of me or to be stepped on, but to show people a reflection of what they're doing by expressing that, may it be through words or through action, but from the heart. Remember, always from the heart. We all have the ability to teach each other lessons when it comes to life. For we are all human and we make mistakes in this journey. We don't know what is the right thing to do, for we follow our intuition and we chase our expectations. Life, as I grew up as a child, I was disappointed many times by my father, Christ, for he didn't show up in those moments where I was lonely, in those moments that I was angry. But was it something that he chose not to do so I could learn on my own? These are questions that I've always had when it came to my experience in spirituality. I remember I had a tough time at the age of 12 being bullied so many times. I mean, we all go through that. That's how we earn this thick skin that we have, right? As we step up to the bullies. But at the same time, there were moments where I was given opportunities to be very Christ-like. And I don't regret those moments, for it defined my personality as I grew into adulthood. Jesus showed me so many things. And just like that, I prayed to him. And he brought me to yoga. For he also meditated as well. And I wanted to understand what meditation was. And I dove through Buddhism, Hinduism, and I arrived to the science of it all, which is yoga. How can I teach my mind to think the way that works for me and not against me? How can I navigate through these emotions? I know that this sounds like I'm promoting yoga once again, but this was my experience. This is how I grew up. Being fatherless was something that continues to be a challenge for me every single day before it's a void. And I know that all human beings experience some sort of void every single time. Even now, if you're watching this video, I wouldn't like for you to be having a void within you, but if you do, trust me that I understand. There's an emptiness that you're trying to fill. On my journey, I choose to fill this emptiness with creativity. I've had so many jobs, and I spoke to Christ so many times when it came to sales, and I sat at a retail store trying to convince people to buy things that they didn't need. God knows, God knows how how my morals were challenged so many times in these situations. But it's okay. We're just rediscovering everything as we go along. It's a choice in the end of the day, right? To rediscover ourselves, to learn something new. It's a choice. But the question I always ask myself, even though I've set myself on this path, is why? Why am I doing this again? Why am I trying to learn more about myself and understand myself? For what? Because we remember, right? We remember when we didn't know and how badly we wanted to know. But now that we're thrown in the abyss of confusion, at least we are on the journey to figure it out instead of just sitting there locked into someone else's answer. This is just a little bit of my journey. And these are so many conversations that I've had between me and Christ. as I learned so much through my mistakes. I hope this little snippet gives you an insight of who you're speaking to or who you're listening to on these videos, which is yoga in Hollywood. I'm your teacher, Miguel. I want to thank you for joining here. I'll be posting more of these little chats. Thank you so much.